Hello there, commanders, and welcome to another episode of Total War Arena Replay Analysis, a series where you, dear viewers, dear commanders, are sending replays to me with the intention of improving your own gameplay, where I go into your replay and give you advice on how and what you could improve in the future. So today's brave commander that sent me his replay to go under my analysis is LG King, and he's joined a party of 4. Nice, so that's what I like to see. With Damien, Mysterious C5285, and Rainfire. Hello there, Rainfire, a fellow SUNTZU member. Damien is on SUNTZU Discord, but is he a recruit? Join us in World of Warships. I don't know. Maybe it's a different Damien. Who knows?
Our unit is under attack.
And then who knows about C0285 numbers. Anyway, okay, you're going here straight for the base, but you're getting cut off. You got caught off guard with this unit. Charging this guy here, so I kind of got it back, but not that much damage as he dealt to you. You're in break ranks. You could enter phalanx here, especially when there's a guy coming here, and you really want to fix your position here. Well, going back with one unit, but yeah, you're not in a winning position really here. You still have a tier higher, right? But overall, he got a jump on you, and judging by the health bars, he's winning. So you need to try to reposition yourself, go into phalanx, retreat. Luckily, this unit here, it was in phalanx, pushed through your unit, and because you were in break ranks, you just got stabs on them from all angles. So that guy clearly demonstrated how not to play phalanx, which is enter phalanx and try to push through an enemy unit and then get yourself surrounded and killed. That was lucky for you. So now you need to try finding flanks. Obviously you outnumber the enemy, so yeah, go in, try to find flanks. Oh, this guy actually, now he does the right thing, right? He not only plugs the gap in the formation, doesn't allow you to go into flanking mode, but he also enters phalanx with both of his units, now keeps retreating and he keeps you in front, while you are still trying to do things in break ranks. He just by retreating, he's just holding you off, you're not doing any damage to him anymore. But luckily, well, your allies are winning the right side, and you will be able to just swallow them, so yeah, keeping up the pressure works in this situation, but overall engaging phalanx frontally is not recommended. But in this case you have phalanx of your own, so you can just go into phalanx yourself and do that. Okay, using fear to rout the units, obviously. That's how you use fear, so everything's fine. And now pushing A to get... or not pushing A. Okay. I mean, in this situation, it is very important to secure a point. Also, C is being secured anyway, but yeah, I guess your left flank is kind of weak. I mean, it doesn't exist. So yeah, going here to the center makes sense. You see that C is being flipped and go to there, and now change your mind. Rainfire doesn't pick up a artillery here. There we go. Nice, so. And your team is capturing it. And you're in a party, team of 4, you're probably on voice chat communicating, and if your team is telling, oh, that's a teleport here. And if you're telling, if your team is telling you like, yo bro, don't worry, we've got this, we got A, we'll secure it, then sure, we can go here to the center. There's artillery here and some archers that shot you earlier. Yeah, they're still shooting in here. Oh, your team isn't getting A, I see. But you can still win, but these guys just healed, and your guys are... well, not full HP from the last engagement. There's also some cavalry reinforcements that are stopping Rainfire. So yeah, you don't really know what is going to happen, right? They might get some reinforcements. They also have the healing zone, so it was fair to assume that they're going to heal. Especially since you didn't finish them, so they didn't need to respawn. You didn't put them on the 30 seconds cooldown. Or is it 20 now? It used to be 20, or it was increased to 30. And yeah, okay, you're chasing archers here, which is, yes, what Miltiades is good at, but what you need to take into account is that there is 6 of them and only 1 of your unit. So even though you counter them, you're faster and we can catch them, you will still be dead, and you really need to hope that you're going to level up from this, because if you don't, you lose all of that XP. One charge, charges of cooldown. Do it! Do it! Do it! There we go. Also in the meantime you routed here, but well, this was like 4v1, so well, that was easy. But watch out on fighting through stakes. Usually you don't want to do this. Stakes are absolutely broken and overpowered and just pure cancer to the game, so you need to be really careful while you're around them. Okay, chasing down here on the archers, but this unit is locked down, and nope, denied. And you charge in with another one. You don't have an easy pick on artillery. Come on, come on, kill that artillery, free kill, and guaranteed level up. Hello? You can kill artillery here. Why are you chasing archers? Why do you hate them so much? What did they do to you? I mean, they shoot you. Obviously, bad boys. Okay. Here using fear to rout this unit. SUNTZU, getting some points just before dying, but it wasn't enough to level you up. Also, I guess these archers helped you, because if not for the friendly fire, that unit wouldn't have been dropped below 10, and then your fear wouldn't work. And now more friendly fire memes, wow. But actually this is the good thing, right? Because they kill your unit, and then healing zone here, healing zone here, healing zone here. They're actually capturing C, but not really, but so well, I guess no healing zone here. Still chasing, still getting some points, which is nice, but yeah, once that unit dies, it loses all the bright XP, and you've already leveled up, so I guess that's sort of okay. But in situations such as this, like when you want to chase archers to provide pressure, obviously when you do that, right, these 6 archers are entirely occupied hitting you, and they cannot go anywhere else. Like they could, for example, support this infantry guy that tried to capture C, and maybe with that archer support they would have gotten C, but instead it goes over to your team. So you've provided pressure, that's a good thing. But sometimes you need to think whether or not it is worth it, because you also lost a lot of XP that way. So you need to calculate and try to predict what is going to happen. It's like, okay, if I don't provide the pressure on these archers and they get to help here around C, and I go back to heal instead, will something really bad happen in that downtime when I'm not providing pressure against the enemy? Right? It's a trade-off. You either heal, preserve your XP, but allow the enemy to exert more pressure on you, right? Or you exert pressure but sacrifice XP. And arguably your team is behind in points, so capturing C is quite worth it. So hey, not a bad decision, not like entirely bad, but not perfect either. But there's not really a perfect decision in that situation. Okay, you choose to respawn at D to get with your friends. That's really good. Keeping up the communication, keeping up the fact that you can cooperate. And yeah, these guys are approaching. Guys that have won the fight at A and have healed back here. And it's kind of my issue with Total War Arena in this new game mode, because you've won that engagement, you killed most of their units, they barely got to survive and they got to heal, right? So you have the XP advantage, but since you didn't retreat immediately and try to push A, your units were half dead from the previous engagement, while they got entirely refreshed, and there was no rank advantage yet to counterbalance that. And they won because of that. And they got all the XP from killing you, while the XP that you got from killing them got lost. So they got kind of rewarded for winning the initial engagement, which is something I'm not a very big fan of. But you can also always just argue that it's your own fault for not retreating, but it's also kind of just counterintuitive, really. But that's enough of me rambling. Let's focus on your actual gameplay, how to improve. So here you have a very straightforward situation, quite literally. There's a narrow passage here, a narrow corridor, not much room for flanking unless your allies go all the way around, which they do, which is good. But you should be the one doing this. These are slow, heavy units. They should be taking the frontal engagement, and you, fast and nimble one, Miltiades, you should be going around. But it's okay, your multi-adders, you're good at everything, essentially. Your hoplite phalanx, right? I mean, your hoplites, so you have hoplite phalanx, which you should be using, but aren't. You use break ranks when you're flanking, right? When you're fighting in an irregular formation, when the engagement is quite chaotic. But here, when it's just a frontal engagement, you enter phalanx, and phalanx deals way more damage and just behaves much better in a frontal engagement, such as this. While you're just playing into the enemy phalanx, which, well, arguably is kind of surrounded, so it's not the best position for them either. But that's the enemy position. You don't have enemy to your back, so you can just entirely safely enter phalanx, use this frontal power it provides, and you will deal much more damage while suffering less on your own. So yeah, that's the general idea. Phalanx for frontal engagements, break ranks for flanking. And yeah, I was about to say, you've lost one unit, so you should retreat one unit, because yeah, that melee is quite prolonged. It's not going to end quickly, and your front line is still sturdy enough to withhold them, even if you send one unit away to heal it back up, secure the XP, and bring back one unit. But you completely forgot about this unit. You got so occupied with this unit. I don't know what kind of micro is required here. You literally you're still in break ranks and just right clicking, right? And you decided to put that unit out there to go back and heal with it, and then when the cavalry charged, you didn't react at all. You just forgot about the unit. First of all, when the cavalry charges, you enter phalanx, if you see that in the first place. But yeah, you just didn't pull through, you already died, and now the cavalry is flanking you. And you might actually lose that engagement. And yeah, that cavalry is already rank 3, the enemy infantry is already rank 2, while still 2 of your units are still just level 1, this unit leveled up way before earlier. And yeah, your friend's XP isn't looking that good either. So yeah, you got a really good advantage early here, but you failed to capture A and got yourself skilled there. Well, it's your teammates that could kill themselves there, but you didn't help them, which if you did, you probably would have won that engagement to the end overall, and you went here to hunt down archers. So yeah, in retrospect, staying here with your allies was probably the better idea, but you couldn't have really known that at that point in time, and you could have, just believed in your teammates, which I don't have anything to argue against, right? That's what you should do, I guess. Believe in your teammates that they will do their job well. That's why you team up in the first place, don't you? But in retrospect, in this particular situation, this particular battle, staying there, securing A, making sure you actually capture it, making sure you get a healing zone here, you deny the healing zone from the enemy, you get more points, and the last game of the battle could look entirely different. But yeah, both your flank lost. You lost your right flank, the rest of your team lost their left flank as well. You only had some control in the center, which has now been denied. And yeah, your team is looking really poorly. A nice flank here. Jin, routes, surround them, crush them. That's a free kill. And some way of clawing back into the game. But yeah, your 2 units are still at rank 0, what is already high level enemy units, tier 3 infantry roaming around. Oh, this guy also must have done something weird, since one of his units is level 3 and the other 2 are level 1. So did you. I can see some archers here, maybe they are unprotected. I'll try surrounding them, send 1 unit over here and 2 units over here, so that they cannot escape. But yeah, you're eyeing this cavalry, help the engagement, just go in and enter phalanx. Archers are not shooting in here, so you need to scare away the archers. I see if you split up, you lock off their escape. You don't need to follow with 2 units in one direction. And then now they can just play a ring around the rosy with you around this building. And you're never going to catch them. That's why you need to cut off their escape. But okay, yeah, you saw your mistake, I guess, and it's like, okay, well, they may run away as much as they want, but they're archers, They cannot contest a point. If they want to, they need to get inside the point and then immediately die from my charge. So yep, correct thing here. The enemy has a lot of ranged units, not a single melee unit. One single melee unit literally here, so they cannot do shit. And you just capture C from under their noses, which is nice. And the archer player fell asleep, went AFK, disconnected, who knows, but he's dead. And you've got C. Yeah, he disconnected. Oh, that's actually shown. Oh. So yeah, when I was talking about when you forgot about unit, you did forget about unit, because there was also an ability, a possibility of, well, maybe you disconnected or something, but if you did, it would have been shown. So yeah, you just fell asleep with that unit, so it looks. So yeah, more awareness. Remember about your units. Don't just send them away and then forget about them, especially since they were really close. Like your melee unit was here, and the unit you sent here. You can easily control both with high degree of detail, let's say. And yeah, there's no reason really to forget about this unit. You don't have an excuse other than disconnects or lags. Still something to improve on. And yeah, again, fighting frontally from an infantry through stakes. Yeah, until he has all the time in the world to just pack up and run away, but instead he runs into melee for some reason. Now he changes its mind. I mean, does that look like a fun gameplay to you? Stakes, 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 and until you're in the middle? Like for real. I guess now it's getting what's coming for them, but cavalry has to run through stakes, has to suffer huge damage. Luckily he's not smart enough to put those stakes in the wrong direction. With these stakes also at a weird angle. So cavalry got away with only losing half HP. But were those stakes placed any smarter, and that cavalry would have lost like 80% if not all. You're retreating, going towards the healing zone, but well, this cavalry here to follow your plans. You did luckily finally level up, so as long as one unit survives. And this is just standing here. Yeah, I'm not a fan of something like this, but maybe in certain situations that is the only way to do that. Where yeah, the point is locked and you just need to stand on top of it and wait and wait and wait. You're literally just wasting time, and this is something better to do. Now when the point that becomes available for capture, you run. Come on, finish the capture. Let your friend out of there quicker as well. But in situations such as this, when you're down so many points, I've been in battles where I was in similar situations points-wise, and we still managed to turn it around. So it is possible to win from such a situation, and you should never give up, because as long as you just block off all their points, they are gaining 0 points per second, and you can actually claw it back. Have some pressure inside the base that is dying, but you have some cavalry here that could capture, well, can't capture B. You need to capture E first, which yeah, is going to be a difficult task with all those forces around. And here you're getting the right flank back, so there's that. Got archers ambushed here. A already being captured by this guy, phalanx. Oh, don't leave! You need to capture it as quickly as possible. Get more points for your team, and less points for the enemy. You're getting your units back here, so that's okay. You managed to survive with one unit. But there's a huge onslaught of enemies going into your base, so you probably need to react to that. Or you can try sneak capture E, because if you capture E, okay, this is what you're doing. Okay, yeah, if you capture E and they overcommit to the base, and if your team secures C, it is at the moment yours, okay. So yeah, the only reason they can start capturing your base is because they control E. If you cut them off from E, they can no longer capture. And that's a good thing to do. And you're also denying point gain from the enemy. So that is pretty nice. Where are the other units? Okay, here. Yeah, see, one unit captures very slowly. This guy shouldn't have moved his phalanx. Didn't achieve anything really in here. And otherwise he would have capped A twice as fast. Finally gets it. C still contested. You're getting it up of B, and now your enemies have only 1 point per second generated by B. So ideally you would want to send something there as well. Yeah, it is close, but sadly this here is a kind of a spoiler alert. There is no way your team wins it within 140. So yeah, you still probably lost. You lost C. Yeah, that's a seal deal. If they get C, it's over. They lock it down for 90 seconds, and that guarantee generates 90 points at least, and more if there are more points to back onto, like B. That's a win. Oh, 90 points themselves is not, but they still have B, so they do win. Yeah, you're trying to prevent that, but not much you can do. Capturing is going slowly. Then you can go to B, obviously, which DM is not protecting, although they could fall back anytime, really. But yeah, that's overall good, because now, I know where. Base isn't locked because they got C. So, they can still just capture the base. But at this point, it is over. So, good idea to go after the capture points, right? But kind of too little too late. So, you should have done something like that earlier. Now your team tries to capture the base, which can also work, but it is not going to go quickly enough before they get 3,500 points. So, okay, what are the overall lessons from this battle? I think you didn't use phalanx at any point in this battle, so do not shy away from phalanx. I know you're Miltiades, right, and it is a choice. You can be either break ranks or hoplite phalanx. So like, oh, why would I pick Miltiades if I'm not going to use break ranks, right, and use phalanx instead? Well, you're taking Miltiades for that flexibility, that if you need speed and flanking and damage in certain melee engagements, then you go break ranks, and then you still have flexibility that if you enter a frontal melee engagement where phalanx thrives, well, you have phalanx, you have that flexibility, unlike Leonidas or any other Greek commander that has only phalanx and no break ranks. So yeah, there's that. So don't shy away from phalanx. Secure points. Think about whether or not you should provide pressure or retreat and heal up. Because I think for many players, and you know, it's the same for me, right? I'm so used to the old mode where there was no healing, no going back, and you know, securing XP or anything like that. It's all new, so you need to get used to that, right? So you need to just stop for a second and think, okay, do I go back and heal in this situation or keep pushing forward? And then you calculate, if I fall back and heal, what can enemy gain in the time I'm not providing pressure, right? What terrain can they get back from us, right? The ones we've gained. Because yes, you will be giving up certain advantages by retreating, right? But and if I don't retreat, what can be the repercussions of that, right? I provide pressure, that's good. I keep enemies away from our points, that's good, right? But there's a higher chance of me dying. The enemy has a healing zone much closer, and my healing zone is much further away. So if I don't level up, I don't secure XP, I lose it all. They don't, and then you saw that they snowballed on that flank with XP advantage, and yeah, it was kind of a throwaway win. We got a really nice advantage going at the very beginning, and then you kind of threw it away. So yeah, you need to consider how to convert your advantages into victories. And don't throw it away. I think that's it for this episode of a replay analysis. Thank you, commanders, for watching. You can check out links in the description below to help us bring Arena back to the West. And while you're there, you can friendly fire that subscribe button, like button, dislike button if you want, and notification bell if you want to be truly awesome. And with that said, I'll see you on Arena's battlefields, commanders.